Hey, I'm James Bay, and I'm here at the Gatehouse in Abbey Road. I suppose a lot of people would sort of say it's quite obvious. It's Abbey Road. It's one of the most important um, studios, recording spaces in the world, in the history of pop music, in the history of rock and roll. You know, home to some of the greatest records, the birthplace of some of the greatest records in rock and pop music over the last sort of 40, 50 years. And so I suppose, put simply, it means everything to be able to come here as a fan. You know, the first couple of times I felt very much like a tourist, like of music and of this place, and that was fine. It was still an honour. So to get to be in here, you know, recording and stuff, it means everything. First impressions of the Gatehouse are it feels lovely, and that's the most important thing. It feels good. It feels easy but exciting. The best studios have that. I think at this point in music, you can do so much away from a recording studio, but there's such a romance, in my opinion, and I know in a lot of other musicians' opinions, to the theatre of the recording studio. I just think to have a dedicated environment to music, to recording, to writing, and making new music is very important. I think Abbey Road has always stood for that. There's loads of different music inspiring me at the moment. I've kind of stepped away from. I feel like in quite a big way, I've stepped away from stuff that I would just go to, which is usually more guitar-based stuff. I listen to older music a lot, and then some sort of newer stuff. And lately, it's been much more newer stuff. Lately, I've been listening to, you know, Bon Iver put a new album out in the last sort of 6 months, year or so, which I still love. Feist is putting new music out, which I love. There's some folks over from America. Chance the Rapper is a particular one of those in the sort of hip hop world that I didn't expect to love that album Colouring Book as much as I do, and I love it. I listen to it all the time. I went to see Drake the other night, and I'm becoming more and more of a fan of his. And then the next night I went and saw Laura Marling, and she's put new music out, which I love. I've always been a fan of her. So all sorts of different stuff from one end of the spectrum to the other. There's always going to be some guitar in it for me, but then the most surprising thing is that lately, in some of it, there's been much less guitar, and it's been much less about that. And maybe it's been more about songs or just other sounds, and like those artists like Chance the Rapper and Drake, and I love it.